right, so that match started out a little strangely. The commentators mentioned the teams complaining about not being able to lock. At the beginning of every match, CCP Sinitra does an ECM burst that unlocks basically all the participants in the arena. This is just to make sure that we have a clean fight. That module did not deactivate properly, which means that they simply got an extra ECM burst. The good news about that is that both teams were affected equally, and not one team had an advantage over the other one. But it is, of course, an unfortunate way of starting a match. But since both teams had the disadvantage, we're just gonna leave it like that.
Yeah, I think that's fair
to me.
Yeah. Sometimes things don't work out. There's obviously bugs, and a production is tremendously large as this Alliance tournament. And you can't have everything go perfect all the time. But what's important is that things are fair for both teams. And maintaining the integrity is like the most important thing.
What's important is I got my prediction right again.
Oh yeah, I'm perfect so far as well.
Really? I know I missed the first one.
Well, I hate you guys because I missed one.
You missed one? Oh, well, I mean, that's how it is. So those were pretty similar teams, at least at the onset.
Very similar,
All
yes.
right.
Yeah, they were pretty tight. Once again, you see the Minotaur constantly. I think they're really slowly proving themselves to be so versatile that it really just makes it easy for a team to field. They're easy to fly, and perhaps the teams that have practiced a little less than the others can field them and still do as well, make fewer mistakes with that easy to fly setup.
You saw the one Tengu for the Dark Side team.
Yeah.
We saw some teams, Pasty actually did that last year where they put the single Tengu in the Rush team. It does give some advantages because you can get a higher bonus to a shield mind link from it. But it also means that if you do come up against an ECM team, suddenly your racial purity is lost, which gives all their Kaldari jammers, we'll all go on that Tengu and it won't be able to lock anything the whole fight. So it's risky.
I think the important thing to understand about racial purity is that we've only seen one team have Amar racial purity, which you would think of all the different steps to focus on racial purity, Amar.
If you role play that angle of it. Minotaur haven't traditionally been that popular in the Alliance tournament. We've seen a lot of Kaldari ships. We've seen a good mix of Amar and Galente, but they seem to be dominating this time around.
You saw them in, I think it was 6, with the Fleet Stabber teams.
Yes, that's true.
And then 8 and 9 were the ones where they came back big. And the difference was between 7 and 8, the buff to autocannon ammo and to tracking enhancer was suddenly affecting fall off. That made a big difference.
Yeah, exactly. The autocannon setups, the fall off on autocannons is just amazing. They're a wonder to fly. So
they are fun. Let's grab a few questions from the forums we've had here. Elphelius asks, how does a combined Dust 514 EVE tournament sound, and how would you like to see it done, if at all?
It sounds pretty cool.
I think without knowing everything that you would have to know about the interaction mechanics, I would love to see some sort of point or like capture system that both groups can work towards to sort of like control. So like a team could show up, and if their team in space does all right, but their team on the ground just dominates, they can sort of work together as a group to win. I would love, rather than just seeing like these guys fight, these are their points, and then the spaceships fight, these are their points, add them up. I'd love to see them fight as a team together.
If you had installations on the ground that were giving a small but noticeable bonus, like an extra shield bonus or an armor bonus to your ships, and the people on the ground were trying to knock those out, that would be a lot of fun. And
if the people in space could help the guys out down on the, like...
Or Orbital strike their own team.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
It's never going to happen.
It's never going to happen.
People do not mess up when they're...
No one makes mistakes.
Who goofs like that?
And everybody in EVE is pure and honest and
nobody
would never double-cross anybody.
Yeah, nobody would stab anybody in the back.
It's the best community in MMOs.
Yeah, it's very family friendly.
Yes.
Everybody is super nice to everyone else. It's amazing.
True. Yeah.
Anyway, before we go to the next question, I'd just like to remind everyone that we do have a new devlog out that is for the Alliance Tournament stats. We also have another contest. It is a cruiser poster bundle. This is by the good guys at Eon Magazine, who have been making a fantastic publication for us for years. You should read it. It is some of the finest literature ever produced and will possibly be in libraries for centuries to come.
Well, the great part about being at CCP offices, those Eon magazines are everywhere. And I'd actually never read one before, but now all the experts, commentators are constantly stealing them from the office, and like we're stockpiling them up in our room.
You're not supposed to say that.
I've given ours away. I think you guys have enough that you won't miss them, but they're pretty excellent reads. They give like dev bios, like interview with a dev and things like that are really interesting. That's how I actually found out that you also enjoyed playing Planet Side in LMMO.
I did. That was actually a really wonderful MMO. I quite enjoyed that game.
Yeah.
They also have another one coming up, which
I think Dust is going to be better.
Probably.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably. But I mean, it'll be a good like second place game.
Yeah, it'll be something to play like in between matches in Dust.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was that match. It was Darkside taking it after a bit of a shaky start. Now we have Raiden versus -10. That they still actually have a chance to pass against all authorities, don't they?
If -10 wins, they are guaranteed in at this point. If Raiden wins while fielding a 50-point team and getting the full handicap, then they have a chance, but that would be very unlikely.
If you're Raiden right now, are you trying to sell that slot?
I think that's a definite possibility.
Yeah.
Because I mean, after the result of this one, Raiden are basically the gatekeepers of Group C, and if they want to sell that slot, now's the time. And but I mean, -10 might just say, well, we can.
We'd rather just try to win.
Yeah, because they are really, really good.
We'd rather just bring 5 dozen recons.
And after we're done with that, we have 2 more matches. That is, of course, Pandemic Legion versus Hydra Reloaded, Ushura Khan and Unaffiliated. Then we have the traditional Eve TV break, where we pee, eat, and just generally get ready for an exciting evening and
All
switch
excellent
guests.
things to do.
Yes.
Maybe at the same time.
Although switching
Maybe
guests,
at the
I'm maybe
same
disappointed with because
Yeah.
Veritas is a great guest.
All right. Thank you. Do you want me to just kick the next guy off? Just be like,
I think
sorry,
we should add a 5th chair.
should have had a 5th
Yes,
chair.
there you go.
But I mean, we'd have to get a longer desk.
We could just have someone sit like on the desk.
Or on my lap.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Not volunteering for that.
All right.
You know what? Michael Bolton.
Anyway, so we are just slightly late. AAA had a few issues here, but we do have, luckily, a lot of people posting on the forums who are posting some really great questions. Ophelia Ursus posts about Tech 3 ships. For teams who have a strong likelihood of featuring in the final day of the tournament, are they worried about skill point loss for their Tech 3 ships in this round?
It definitely can be a concern, especially for the smaller alliances. The larger groups, you often have enough people with max skills, and the Tech 3 is you can just sub a new person in. But if you're really relying on someone who's maybe a tournament captain, who's maybe someone who's going to be your FC, then it can be tricky sometimes. Losing those skills can make a difference. They're not usually going to swing the entire match around, but you definitely want to try to keep the best skills.
I actually know of at least one pilot that he didn't end up in the tournament. He got knocked out in the prelims, but he had saved his learning skill reimbursed skill points so that he could prep and just dump them right back in for the next match.
Clever. All right. So does that mean that you're less likely to see Tech 3 ships today as opposed to last weekend?
I think you're still going to see a lot of them today. If anything, people are going to be moving towards some of their more expensive, more interesting setups as they get more and more desperate, I guess you could say, or as the matches become more important for them. But it's especially difficult when you come down to the very last matches, like in the semifinals and finals. You have such a short lead-up time. Getting another pilot in might be difficult.
All right. Well, let's go find out who is sent into the final round in Group C. It is -10 versus Raiden. Let's have some predictions.
I'm going to go with -10.
I'm going to go with -10 as well. I think they may have bought the match.
-10.
I'm going to go with -10 because I think they're probably just the better team.
True.
All right, let's see.